Welcome to PubCast, a podcast by Google that explores the stories of website creators and app developers who turned their passions into profit. I'm Gigi Grimes, and today we'll hear how Shankar Upreti, CEO and founder of Hamro Patro, grew his app from a passion project into the top Nepali app in the world, with over 6 million monthly active users. Hamro Patro is an online platform that connects over 6 million Nepali language speakers worldwide. The app started as Shankar's side project as a calendar app to stay up to date on Nepali holidays back home, and it quickly grew into a multi-purpose app and the top Nepali app in the world. Shankar, could you please begin by introducing yourself with your name and title?
Thank you, Gigi, for having me. My name is Shankar Upreti. I'm a CEO and founder of Hamro Patro.
Awesome. And what is Hamro Patro?
Hamro Patro is a lifestyle and a community app that connects millions of Nepali users worldwide, and they can connect with Nepal and with each other.
Awesome. So let's go back a bit and kind of start at the beginning of your journey, into this space. How did you start getting interested in technology?
For the technology, it goes back to my school days, right? So I grew up in a small town called Birganj in Nepal. So it's a pretty small town. And in 1996, when the first time there were two computers in the entire town, I got to see the computer. And then the first thing I saw in the computer screen was a Nepali text. I was so amazed. I've never thought that I can see the Nepali text in the computer, right? And then I thought, how can computer understand Nepali language? So that's how I actually really got interested in this computer, and then started learning programming, and that's how everything started. So this started when I was in grade 7, and it was 1996.
Mm-hmm. How did you start learning to use the computer?
So learning computer was pretty difficult. There were only two computers in entire town, right? So my school had those two computers, and usually it's really packed because there's just two computers and all the students. So only time the computer was free was the lunchtime. So I used to skip my lunch break and go to the computer lab and try using at that time. And also I actually draw the layout of the keyboards in my paper and then bringing that back to my home and just practice typing on that. So that's how I started learning computers. And then for the programming, it was really difficult to get the books in that town. So I used to go to library, and I used to find some of the electronics books, from where I can learn a little bit of programming. So also there was TV programs that was teaching programming. So that's how, it's really difficult. There were no many resources at that time. But I was so much excited. So I could find everything that I can find and then learn from it. So it was challenging, also exciting time for me.
Yeah. I think it's really funny, the drawing the keyboard and practicing typing. And even like skipping lunch, it's clear like you were so passionate about this, from a young age, and just, innately curious about it. Where did that kind of come from? Had you ever interacted with anybody in technology or anything before that?
No, at that time, so I was really into the building thing. So before I saw the computers, I thought maybe I'll just build bridges and the buildings, and that's what I was known for. I was on that track to be a civil engineering part, right? And then I saw the computers, and then I think it's just out of curiosity, right? I didn't know anyone who are into the computers at that time. So it's just my curiosity. And also I talk with my friends, and they are also interested on this one. So I just built a community of developers in that town. So we had 3-4 friends. I used to write programs in my notebook and then go back to the lab and just type that program. So it's kind of really difficult. And we learn from each other. We build a community of a small group in my school. So that's how it started. So we didn't have any role model at that time. So from where we can learn. So it just came out of our curiosity and working with the friends at that time.
And then when it came time to go to college, were you immediately, you knew like, I want to study technology and I want to study computer science, or was that kind of a pivot for you?
No. So from the first time I saw the computer, I knew that I want to be something in computer science. So it was no brainer for me. So I just wanted to go to the best engineering school in the country. So that was my focus, was to go to the top engineering school in the Nepal.
Nice. And when you were kind of thinking that and applying to schools and getting interested in this, it was obviously during the tech boom kind of in America. Were you thinking at all that you might become an entrepreneur through this?
No, I just wanted to pursue my interest, right? So at that time, the thing is that I'm really introvert. I don't talk to people that much. So It's kind of hard for my friends to digest that I'm an entrepreneur right now, right? Because I mean, I was not that kind of person. I just want to find the solution to the problems, right? And this do spend all the time just doing the programming. So it's kind of I was not, I mean, at that time, so thinking about the tech boom and other things. I just wanted to pursue my interest. It's just accidental. So that's what happened.
But it works out because, when you're so passionate about the project, you can kind of make everything else work. So then after you had university in Nepal, what prompted you to move to the US?
So I worked in Nepal after completing my undergrad. So I worked there for 3-4 years, and then the next step for every Nepali student is so go to United States and get higher education. So that's how I mean that's kind of a trend. So and also in the US, right, there are so many good universities. So that's the way I can actually improve my knowledge and the talent. So that's the kind of natural path for me to apply for US universities and come here and learn more, to improve my knowledge. So that's how it started. I have seen US in TV and movies, right? But coming here was really mind blowing. The first thing I saw was the speed of the cars. The first thing I saw. Wow, this is awesome, right? So I've never seen these things before, but that's experience. But the university, I really learned a lot, and I found the professors, and they're very knowledgeable. Yeah, so it's so much learning for my university years. So I'm really thankful to my all the university teachers and the professors. So they taught me a lot. So it's it's completely different way of teaching here. So I was so fortunate that I got to go to university here and learn so much.
And then when did the idea for Hamro Patro come to you?
So yeah, so it's after I came to US. So it might be hard to believe, but Nepal has completely different official calendar system, and we have the different festivals, and that festivals is based on other calendar, right? So when I first came to US, I just bought this printed calendar back from Nepal. But after 1 year, it's expired, right? And then it's hard for me to know when the next festival is. I mean, we have our own Mother's Day. I mean, I just don't want to forget to call her. So I thought maybe I need some kind of this tool. And also at that time, I got my iPhone. So it was around 2008. So I got this iPhone, shiny iPhone. I had this Mac, but I thought, what should I do? And then I thought maybe I can make a calendar app so that it can remind me to know when our festivals are. I mean, when is the Nepalese Mother's Day. I mean, we have different dates for the Mother's Day event, right? So that was a goal that just build some small utility app that will remind me about Nepali festivals. So I built that particular app for myself. So it was in 2009 that the app was built, the first version.
Mm-hmm. And that was just entirely for you. You were just kind of using it as like a personal calendar for yourself.
Yeah, so the reason I didn't release was, I mean, it would cost money to release it. It was $99 per year, right? It's for Apple App Store. I thought, I mean, I was a student, right? So I thought, why should you spend $99, right? And I can actually have the app, right? Then I sold that app to my friends, the colleagues. So they said, oh yeah, this is really good. I mean, this is good for all of the Nepal, right? Why don't you release it? And then I thought, okay, even $99 as a student is a lot. Then I thought, okay, maybe let's try, right? Then I released the app, and then people really loved it. I started getting lots of feedbacks, lots of feature requests, and then all of the Nepali at that time, very few Nepali had the iPhone, and mostly in US. So they gave me a lot of feedback, and then I was pretty happy with it. At least it was helping my community. So it was side projects or my hobby project at that time.
Yeah, no, that's so it's like it's funny that, you kind of created it out of like personal use and then a lot of people found great use out of it, and that you were kind of doing it part-time at first while focusing on other things. You kind of had the app initially, for yourself. At what point did you decide that like this could become a business and that you should scale it out and share it with people?
So I think it was 2013, and then where the Android phone became really popular, and people in Nepal actually started buying lots of the phones, and because it was affordable, right? And I saw the skyrocketing of the usage of the app. So in 2013, when the Android version was released, within a few months, I had 100,000 downloads. And it increased so much. And then by that time, I had already 1 million downloads. So I started making money from the advertisement. So I had AdMob integrated, and that was bringing some money. So around 2014, the revenue the app was generating is much more than the salary I was making. So I thought maybe I should stop my day job and just completely focus on this project. So that's why when the revenue was sufficient enough and also lots of users are using, and then I thought maybe I have a bigger impact that I can make with when I focus on this Hamro Patro. So around that time, around 2014, 15, I left my job and then started a small team back in Kathmandu, Nepal, and that's how it started. Yeah.
What did that feel like for you to kind of see all of those downloads and see all of that interest coming in?
So yeah, I was very excited and very humbled to see lots of people using it, and then I wanted to have some impact on the people so that they can communicate with each other, connect with each other. So it's a very humbling experience. Also, it's kind of more the trust that people are putting on, so you feel like more responsible. So we want to make sure that people will get the right information, they will get the right tools. It's very exciting as well as very humbling and as well as a responsibility that I felt.
Definitely, definitely. How do you manage content on the app now and even throughout that scaling kind of process?
Yeah, so it's a basically a platform, right? So we have lots of news organizations that are in Nepal. So we partnership with them. So their content, so we aggregate their content and make sure that the only right content will be shown to the users. I think we partner with more than 99% of radios in Nepal. So we have around 600 radios in our app. So basically, slowly increasing our partnership. So we partnership with the BBC, we partnership with the top newspapers. It's kind of started very slow, and you said they didn't believe us. And now, since we scale, so it's much easier to do partnership. So all the content that we do is based on the partnership, and also for the festivals, we partnership with lots of writers. We know the background of the all the festivals, so it's hard, but there is a team that's doing. So thankfully, I don't have to do it. I'm not very good at it, the managing the content because I'm the tech guy. So all my team is taking that responsibility for me. So I'm thankful to them as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's really cool. I mean, in such a short amount of time, how much it's grown and how many users kind of, rely on the app and use the app. And what I found like particularly interesting about it is that it really serves as a connection for people, to Nepal, whether if they're abroad or in Nepal, as like connecting with their broader community. It's almost like a social networking app, but it's not, it's not social networks. It's not a Facebook or an Instagram or something. But were you kind of like intentional in creating that kind of community space for like the global Nepali community? Or was that also kind of like organic as well as the app kind of grew?
The purpose of app is to help the people that are outside of Nepal, being outside of Nepal. So it's kind of we want to know what's happening, and also we want to know how our local community is doing. Also want to know, so most of the Nepali people who goes out of Nepal, they earn money, they send back to remittance. So that's a big business, big revenue source for Nepal. So they want to check what is a foreign exchange rate so that they can find where is the best time to send money. So that was initial purpose to help the people outside of Nepal to get connected to the Nepalese community back home. Then the people in Nepal actually started using it. So we have 70% users are actually from Nepal, only 30% outside of in Nepal. So we are intentional about helping communities to know what's happening in Nepal, but we have grown from that phase to now it's kind of universal, right? Every Nepali internet users has the Hamro Patro and they use it. So initially we started intentionally, but then some of the features we added based on the user feedback. So it grew organically as well as so we're a little bit intentional about it, what we want to build.
I know you get you've mentioned this, that you get a lot of feedback from users and a lot of kind of engagement from them. Could you talk through some of like the feedback that you've gotten and then some of the changes that you've made on your app, whether expanding to new places or new features based on user input?
Yeah, so since the beginning, the app was released, right? So it's all based on the user feedback. So I'm really thankful to the users. So all the features that we build based on their feedback. So one particular feedback that we got was we had this festival in Nepal where you have to cook something, but it takes few days to prepare for it, right? So if you miss that particular window, that you can't make that food. So it's called quantity. So you have to prepare it 2-3 days ago, right? So we sent a notification back in 2013 or 14 that did you do this prep for your food because this festival is coming. And that was so much hate that immediately I got 20-30 emails that, hey, thanks for at that time. The notification was not that big deal, right? None of the app was sending notification. That was a very new things at that time. So push notification was very new. So people are really thankful that actually I helped them to remind them they can prepare their food for the festival. So that was the moment I felt, oh my god, so I'm actually having really good impact to help preserve our culture or community and then actually people can relate to this app. So that was a time then I thought, okay, so something big is happening, right? At that time I was still working in my day job. I was not 100% committed, but that was a one of the incident I remember always, that getting that feedback. So we always work on get the feedback, and that feedback drives us. And all the features that we added, most of the features based on the user feedback. So once they say, hey, can you add this news feature? Initially news was not there, so we just had the calendar, and then people, hey, this is so much good, right? So can actually read all the newspapers that are in Nepal. So that was the user feedback. Then we added that. So we added radio. People will say, hey, can you actually listen to the radio? So it's maximum things that in the apps based on the feedback that we get. We are actually getting a lot of more feedback that people are asking, hey, can you just add the live streaming television of Nepal? So that was we are actually working on right now. So based on the feedback, so we just that will drive our roadmap.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, I mean, it's clear, like, the whole process going about how you build everything and how the company kind of works, it's all about creating something better for the people who use it and for the entire Nepali community. I think that's really awesome that you guys have taken that kind of approach and kept it, so focused on the community. And kind of throughout that, like, what's been your most rewarding moment throughout the whole process growing this company and kind of building the apps?
There are so many moments that I felt really proud. I can remember any specific moment. So I already shared you, right, the email that I got that thanking me, that they actually find it useful that I reminded them about this festival, or those are the emails that always motivates me. And another, I mean, is the moments that I remember was my mom sending me text in Nepali that, hey, I use your keyboard and I'm able to send you a message, not you, for all our family, right? So that was kind of the moment I always remember. That always motivated me. So whenever I think about this app, at least I'm able to create impact in the people's life. And I'm fortunate to give back to the community.
How does that kind of feel for you to have something, that's the hour, it's so community centric, and so focused on everyone? What does that kind of like mean to you?
So yeah, so that's why I mean it feels like this app belongs to all of us Nepali community. And also, if people love the name and they say, hey, it's not just yours, it's all ours. So they feel that even users feels that they're part of this community and this app is for them. I mean, we got lucky that we picked the names. So some of my users said, you're sure lucky that you got a really good name, right? It has this community vibe as well in its name. So yeah, so we got lucky that we got the naming correct, and then people actually feel connected and they think they are a part of the app. And also even for us, right, that reminds that it's this our app, right, is for everyone, is for entire community this app belongs. So it feels good to, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's your kind of vision for the app going forward, and where do you see, Hamro Patro going and growing?
During this pandemic, right, we thought that people really want to connect with each other. So we had other features that, but we didn't have features that we actually connect people with each other. So that's why we are just releasing. We are working on this chat features that people can able to connect with each other. Also, they may be able to video chat. Just we wanted to make sure that so Nepali users have some ways of communicating with each other that we lack for the sometimes. That's what we are working on. And also, we are slowly working on this community features that people can actually create their own community and they can be part of that community. So it's basically, let's say I'm in San Francisco and there's so many Nepali in San Francisco, right? So kind of the group inside the Hamro Patro where all the Nepali in San Francisco can talk about what's a good restaurant, right? Which new restaurants open up. So this new festival is coming. Do you have any plan? So those kind of small community or the groups that we want to cater. So we're working on building this micro community or mini community, even in different countries. So it's hard to believe, but Nepali people are in more than 150 countries. So I see users from all those countries, right? There are Nepali community in those countries, right? So it wouldn't be great that if we have some ways that we can connect the local community outside of Nepal as well, so that they can share their ideas and share their preferences and just have some platform they can talk about, share their experiences.
It's really cool, how much of a community you can create off of, something that seems so like day to day and literally is very day to day. It's really cool. And it's just kind of amazing how it's grown so much. So throughout your kind of whole, work on this, iterating on the app and building the app, what have been some of your kind of like key learnings as someone overseeing everything that's happened?
really listen to the user feedback. Because if you think about it, so once you just said, hey, why don't you add this particular feature? And once we add those features, right, and there's so many users, we made them happy. So that is also listening to users and building roadmap based on the user feedback is another key learning for me. So I also learned during this journey, right? So how to become a better manager, how to handle teams. So that was personal learning for me as well. So as how to become a leader, how to manage a bigger team. So that was before that I was just an engineer, so I was just focused on building things. Now I have to know the team, talk to the people, and also build me a better person. That's my personal learning.
Yeah. No, totally. Do you have any advice for other people who kind of develop apps and are looking to get into this space?
Yeah, so the main advice is that be user centric. Just find out what user wants and build around that. So it's not a destination; it's a journey. So once you build the app, we have to make sure that we have to keep updating the app, making sure that you continue to serve your users. Yeah, so I think that's the main thing, right? You can't stop working on the app once you build it. So you have to constantly updating. So what I see most of the people who are not successful is just because they build this app, they think that people will find it and use it. Even that's the case, but if you don't update the app, people will stop using it.
Yeah, no, I think it's really good advice. And I think it's important to kind of, yeah, focus on your user base and keep iterating, keep trying, testing new things. And you should see growth, hopefully.
Yeah, we are really thankful to all our users who trusted us from the beginning. And also, I'm really thankful to my team. I mean, we have 30 people team in Nepal. They are working really hard. I mean, even this pandemic time, they are working from home. They are working really hard. So I really want to thank all my team members. I mean, without them, I mean, we wouldn't have grown this much. I mean, with one person, it's not that possible. And also, we would like to thank all our partners. Right? They are really good partners. I mean, they are providing us good content. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you all our users. Thank you, Gigi, so for having me here. I mean, giving me time to express myself and to give introduction about Hamro Patro, our Nepali community. So yeah, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for joining. Yeah, we're so happy to have you. So that was Shankar Preti, founder and CEO of Hamro Patro. Hamro Patro is available in the iOS App Store as well as the Android Play Store. So go ahead and download and connect with the Nepali community. Did you find this episode enjoyable? Let us know your thoughts and comments at g.co/toxicgoogle/PubCast. If you're interested in how AdSense or AdMob can help you grow your business, check out the links in the show description.